I like big hoops. They call them the ghetto girl hoops or whatever.
You are a work of art created by God.
Hey Lovebugs, welcome back to my channel. I am Mercy Vaughn, and this is a place where we love God, we love ourselves, and we love others. And so I know I said that the last video was probably going to be the final video. However, I do have one more. So we are back today for the fourth installment of our Style It Up series. And today is all about accessories. And the reason I feel like it is necessary to talk about it is because it's kind of like the unspoken, for real, like cherry on top. It's like one of those things that maybe people know, but maybe not really. Like, I think that that's that place that really separates the aesthetics. So for the basis of today's video, we're gonna look at just a simple like white t-shirt and jeans and talk about how your accessories can really take the look to the next level. And you have to find those accessories that fall in your aesthetic, right? So we've looked at everything. You developed your aesthetic, you've done the research, you compared, you figured out what colors and silhouettes work for your body type, right? We've decluttered, we've done all of the work. And now it's time to really look at the actual outfits. How do we pair things together, right? And so you have that initial layer, which is like your base layer, right? So that will be the dress, that will be the top and maybe a skirt, or the top and the bottoms. That is going to be your base layer, right? And then the thing that separates the whole wearing versus styling, right, that we've seen so much on social media is how you decide to accessorize it. And when we're talking about style, understanding that style is the way that you want to present to the world. What is the story you want to tell? How do you want to present? How do you want to look, right? We talked about presentation and perception. How do you want to be perceived? What is that look that you want to be classified by or defined as? And that is what separates the various aesthetics. And so when you look at maybe some of your fashion icons, people that you really look to that are like, oh, they're extremely stylish, I love the way they dress, pay attention to the base layer and then the additional layers, which are the accessories that are added, right? So to me, anything that is not the base is an accessory. If it is not the foundation of the look, it is the accessory. So that for me includes sunglasses, how you style your hair matters, nails matter, the makeup matters. It's about the full look. It's the belt, it's the shoes, it's the bag, it's the jewelry choices, right? Those details make a difference. I talk a lot about how I love pins. I believe I've talked about how I love pins and I love a good brooch. That is something that adds that layer. I love jewelry. I love belts. You've heard me talk about belts time and time again. I love a good belt. I've always been an accessories girly. Like, the basis of the looks and the articles of clothing that I actually have are actually very simple. Most of the time, they're not extremely out there, as in like they're these extreme statement pieces. I like oftentimes very simple, very classic, very chic items. So it's not gonna be this big old pop a lot of the time. Now, I do dabble in prints. So I've talked about houndstooth, I've talked about florals, I've talked about stripes. So I do dabble in prints, but I don't really, the articles of clothing are not these major in your face statement pieces, right? They will, of course, have some elements that I do believe adds like some elevation, that adds some style to it, that adds some chicness to it, you know, that will take it to the next level. I love a good shoulder, right? So I love my blazers to have like shoulder pads, or I like a good top that has a good shoulder detail, be it off the shoulder, cold shoulder, or it has like something that kind of makes it puffy. I do like those things. But the way that I really pull an outfit together is by those accessories. I believe outerwear is a means of accessory. A jacket, a coat, vest, cardigans. I believe that those are forms of accessories because they are not a part of the base layer. Because majority of the time, you typically will wear something underneath. Now, if it's a hoodie, then a hoodie could be considered a part of a base layer. If it's like a sweat set or something, then those can be considered a base layer, and then anything you add on top of it will be the way you accessorize it. But be intentional about it. You can take very simple items, and the way that you style them, what you choose to pair with it, can change the entire outfit. So going back to the fundamentals, right? Looking at that base layer, what is going to separate like a streetwear babe from a boss babe, right? A very business woman kind of look. The way they style it up. So a streetwear girl, they will typically take that white tee and those jeans, right? And they may pair it with like a bomber jacket, or maybe a moto jacket, or like a Letterman jacket, and or a vest, like a puffer vest or something, and pair it with some sneakers and maybe a baseball cap and maybe like a big puffy bag or something that's slouchy with not a whole lot of structure, right? They may make that tee extremely oversized. They may put a jersey on top. And that is what is going to separate from the boss babe, who will take that same white tee and jeans, and she may pair it with some ballet flats or a heel, like a nice pump or a nice heeled booty. Paired it with a blazer, right? And it will give completely two different looks. They both started off with the same base, a white t-shirt and jeans. But the difference is in what you choose to pair with those items. So accessorize. Don't be afraid to accessorize. I think about it as like, I don't know if this is the proper way to describe them, but like the earthy girls, the bohemian girls that love like arm cuffs. When I think of them, I think of arm cuffs. I think of waist beads. That falls into their aesthetic. Find those accessories that align with that, whatever your aesthetic is. If I'm wearing streetwear, I won't lean to where I'm wearing my pearls. But if I'm going to church or going to work and I'm dressing up, then I will wear my pearls. You get what I'm saying? Like that, there are pieces that to me align. Find those pieces that align with whatever aesthetic that you're going for. If you're going simple and classic and chic, then you're probably going to lean more towards more dainty, simple jewelry, right? Probably more of the sets. So the sets that have like teardrop earrings and a teardrop necklace with a bracelet, or just regular studs, like diamond stud with a diamond stud necklace and something simple. Maybe that may be more of your cup of tea. But if you're going street, then maybe you want the bangles, you want the layer, you want the charms, you want the pizzazz, you want the extra, you want rings, you want bracelets, you want to be decked out, you want anklets, you want hoops, you want whatever. Like, you want the layers to your accessories. Just figure out what falls in line with the aesthetic that you're going for, how you want to be presented, and what you're comfortable with. If you already have accessories, pay attention to that, right? Pay attention to those things that you already own and are drawn to and navigate to. And how often do you wear those pieces? Do you wear them for certain times when you're wearing certain things? One thing that I know, like one thing that's big, I am a hat person. I love hats, right? I love a good scully or beanie. Some people call them scullies. Some people call them beanies. Where I come from, we call them scullies. But I love a good scully. So now that we're in the fall winter season, it's getting cool. I love that I can pull out my scullies. I love a good baseball cap. I prefer snapbacks personally. I'm a snapback girl. I like a good snapback, but I don't mind to fit it if it fit right. I love fedoras. You see me style fedoras on my channel all the time. I love hats. That's just my thing. But I know a lot of people, and women especially, who do not rock with hats. So if that's not your thing, then that's not your thing, right? If you're not a heel person, maybe you're more of a sneaker person, then you find your space that works with your aesthetic. Find what your style is. Find what those central accessories are going to be for you. I don't wear sunglasses often. Well, I don't really want sunglasses at all at this point in my life because I wear my glasses all the time, right? So I don't have this huge sunglass collection, but I know I love shoes, belts, and bags, and a good hat, and jewelry. So that is what accessories look like for me, and I will pull from those pieces to add to a look. Some people layer belts, right? Some people use scarves, coats, hats, jewelry, shoes, bags. Find whatever fits into your space. Pay attention to what you're already drawn to, right? Now, of course, we know that everything that we're drawn to may not be the best fit, but pay attention to it. Because if you feel good in them, that is going to exude. That confidence is going to exude. And so if you look at a lot of, I'll use my shoes for example, right? My heels. I love a pointy toe heel, right? Recently, I've dabbled a bit more into square toe, but majority of my shoes, my heels are going to be pointed toe. One, because I'm 5'3", so they help elongate the leg, right? Open toe shoes. If you were to see my shoe closet, a lot of my shoes have blatant similarities because I know that they work. I know that I like this style, so I get this style in every color because it works. I know that it works for me. And so find those accessories that work for you, because the accessories and how you choose to style it and accessorize it is what's going to make the outfit. So remember that. And don't be afraid. Figure out what you like. Some things you more than likely already know. Like you may know, I don't really like rings because I don't like too much on my finger, or I like to keep it simple. Right? Maybe just your wedding band, or if you have any everyday rings or what have you, you may just want to leave it at that. Some people don't like hoops, so they don't wear hoops. Some people only wear hoops. Right? So you have to find what works. Some people like more statement earrings. They don't really dabble in hoops or studs at all. They like statement earrings. My earrings have to be a statement. Big, bold bracelets, bangles, big rings. Find what works for you. Find what works for you. Don't be afraid to try it out. If you already have things in your collection, shoes, purses, belts, hats, jewelry, whatever you already have, look at that. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to, if you, once again, do you have any multiples, anything that is already in those collections that are similar? Something about that you're drawn to. Evaluate what that is. So find out what works for you, and don't be afraid to accessorize, play with it, because that is what is going to set you apart. How you choose to style the look is what is going to set you apart. That is what is going to make you unique, because we can take the same items, going back to that white tee and those blue jeans, we can have the exact same items, but the way that we choose to style them and wear them is going to be completely different, because that is going to be your fingerprint. And so accept it. Remember, style it up. Until next time, know that I love you, God loves you, and remember to always love you too.